Hey guys, it's Mana here, and we're back with some more Everlasting Summer, and today we're going to attempt to tackle Lena's ending. Hi! She glanced at me and immediately hid the racket in the shuttlecock behind her back. You like badminton? Not really. I see you're not really getting it. Maybe you want some help? To tell the truth, I was not very good at badminton, but just like any other child, I used to play it from time to time. Let me show you. Thank you. I took the racket, threw the shuttlecock up in the air, and struck it with such strength that it flew over the fence and got lost among the trees. Oh, I'm sorry. Wow, I didn't expect that for myself. We went out to the sports ground, and I started to inspect the trees. All of a sudden, the screech of an owl pierced the night. Lena got so scared that she seized me with both hands, giving me something like a hug. After a while, I realized that it was an owlet who was screeching on a branch next to us. It was holding our shuttlecock tightly. Is that what you were scared of? Uh-huh. Take a look. It isn't scary at all. Lena looked out from behind my back. You're right. Not scary at all. Hey, wait a second. I gently got out of her hug and came closer to the owlet. At first, it seemed that it get frightened and fly away, dropping the shuttlecock. But the owlet was still perched there. I succeeded in grasping the shuttlecock carefully and taking it from the bird. Hey, look, it's almost tame. Would you like to pet it? Maybe some other time? In any case, Lena was right. A person was missing. Anything could happen during the night. You aren't seriously going to search for him now, are we? What's in there? We don't have any choice but to check it out. I strongly pulled the handle and opened the door. There was a room behind it, which might be one of the maintenance rooms of the bomb shelter. Empty bottles and cigarette butts were scattered everywhere. The walls were all covered with scribbles. So that means there was another exit from here. I didn't want to believe that the people who had left all that had come the same way we did. Sadly, Shurk wasn't here. Suddenly, there came a noise from behind the door to the mine. I jumped up at once and started looking for something I could use as a weapon. The noise of heavy footsteps was getting closer. Finally, the door opened and Shurk appeared from behind it. Found him. In the silence, I froze, staring at him. There you are! Did you think you could hide from me? What? Did you think I wouldn't find you? But I did. He wasn't sane, that was for sure. His face was distorted by a scary grimace. His eyes gleamed behind his glasses. The missing pioneer held a metal rod in his hand. Are you mad? It's us. Yeah, I can see it's you. He took a couple of steps toward us. I instinctively shielded Lena. Do you think you could make a fool of me, leading me here and there, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right? And I followed. He raised the metal rod. Everything after that was like it happened in slow motion. Shurk charging at us. Me pushing Lena out of the way. The rod slowly arcing toward my head. My hand with the flashlight going up. Following all that, complete darkness, rapid breathing, blood hammering in my temples, silence. Dreadful, heavy silence merging with the darkness. I moved my hand, trying to find the wall, when I felt someone's touch. Don't be afraid. I heard a familiar voice near me. Where are you, you damned lunatic? I shouted. He left. Thank God. It turned out that we were right under the statue of Genda. The grating was rather sturdy, but we managed to open it after breaking the bolts with the flashlight. After reaching the surface, I collapsed on the grass exhausted. That was terrible. Lena sat next to me. Lena patted my head tenderly and smiled. It's all over now. I don't know. There's a crazy pioneer in the woods. You could even say a maniac killer. I think he's going to be alright. Alright? I'm not sure about that. The most important thing is that we're okay. She still smiled. How can you be so calm? I told you before that I have nothing to be afraid of when I'm with you. Indeed, I might have saved Lena and myself back there. But it was only by chance, nothing more. If Shirk had been swifter, or crazier. Thanks for the compliment. You're welcome. Though we still should have stayed here in the first place. You're probably right, she said calmly. I got really sleepy, because of the stress of exhaustion and how late at night it was. We should go to sleep, but I'd have to stand up and walk to the leader's cabin. I wasn't ready for that. My eyes closed just for a moment. I lifted myself a little and realized that my head was in Lena's lap. Did I sleep long? I asked in confusion. I didn't rush to get up. I don't know. I don't have a watch. She laughed. Approximately? Well, maybe 20 minutes. Oh, that's okay then. I lay down again, feeling nice and calm like never before. The events of the night were becoming distant, as if I was starting to forget them, like the story the stars were telling me. Shurek has come back. What? I jumped on my feet instantly. There he is, sleeping on the bench. Lena pointed to the benches in surprise. And what are you... You were sleeping so peacefully that I didn't want to wake you up. I felt a shiver of fear because such behavior was not just strange. It was not just inappropriate. It scared me more than Shurik's insanity in the dungeon. A lunatic who half an hour ago tried to kill us arrives, lies on a nearby bench, and falls asleep, and she just sits here. Nothing to worry about. He just seemed a little off. Lena got confused and blushed. He walked unsteadily and didn't look toward us, and if I'd made a noise, she was about to cry. Okay, don't worry. There was some logic to her words. She probably did the right thing. In any case, we had to interrogate Shurek thoroughly. I jumped up, walked quickly to the bench she was sleeping on, and slapped him. Just... Ouch! He woke up at once. What the hell? What are you doing, you bastard? What? Shurek stared at me with a scared and, moreover, sane look. What was all that about down there? What? Where? In the dungeon, in the mine, in the bomb shelter. Did you go completely nuts? I don't understand you. He looked around. Why am I here? And where should you be in your opinion? Oh, wait, I know. You should be in an asylum. I went to the old camp in the morning for the spare parts, and then... Don't you remember anything after that? Lena asked him after walking up to us. Yes, and I... Don't pretend, I said calmly and sat next to him. It really looked like he wasn't lying, though. I don't understand anything. It's unscientific. Who cares? Don't think that I trust you. Memory loss can't occur just... Shurek talked to himself, mumbled something, not paying us any attention. Let's go. Lena put her head on my shoulder. I was surprised at first, but then I heard her regular breathing and thought that it's just a matter of course. I just sat there and didn't think of anything for a few minutes. But then words started crossing my mind with ultrasonic speed. Lena, so close, sleeping, so warm, so gentle, feelings. No, you listen to me. I'm not going to listen to anything. Really? Great then. Alyssa turned away and her eyes met mine. At first, she was obviously confused about what was going on, but then... So you're eavesdropping? Me? No. She began slowly advancing on me, and I took a few steps back. Lena, however, remained standing where she was. Well, okay then, listen. Alyssa stopped halfway and turned back to Lena. By the way, did you know he was peeping on me today? What? Peeping, and he saw everything. Is that true? Lena wrung her hands distressfully, gave me a quick glance, and started staring at the ground as if she was cut off from the world. No, nothing like that happened. Having thrown an angry glance at Alyssa, I came up to Lena. Why are you denying it? I even have a witness. Your witness is even worse than you. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I just want you to understand that I'm not guilty and didn't want to. Why should I care at all? Lena shouted. I was standing with my back to the bonfire, but I was sure that all the pioneers had turned in our direction. If you want to peep at someone, do it. Do whatever you want. But why do you bother me? I'm not... But really, from any point of view, it looked that way. I'm trying to excuse myself to Lena with no success. Like a guilty child, or maybe even a husband who'd slipped up. Just so you know, I don't care. Lena turned away and headed back to the camp at a fast walk. Finally, I came to my senses and decided to approach. But after a couple of steps, I stopped. And what do I say now? Glad I found you? Where have you been? I was worried. After yesterday's conversation, it's very unlikely she wants to see me. And what if Lena asked me why I was looking for her? Why was I worrying? I didn't know myself. Probably it's because she was absent for so long. I went to the court, approached Lena, smiled, and said, "Hey." She turned and looked at me. "Hi. You were absent all day." "Yes, I was walking around." Everything she said was quiet and calm, with no trace of embarrassment or shyness. With no emotions at all, in fact. "We worried about you. Though the only one who worried was me. You shouldn't have. But you can't just disappear like that." I tried to smile to make my words not sound like a reproach. I don't think that anybody cares about that. I care, for one. Why? I read surprise in her eyes. Because it's not right. No matter how I tried to be perfectly honest, it came out wrong. I see. I won't do this again. It seems like this conversation was not interesting to her. Silence followed. I just didn't know what else to say, and Lena seemed to be quite content with the silence. Want to look at the stars together? Yes, of course. I sat down beside her. Lena intently studied the sky. Lots of small lights shined above me. Some of them were brighter, some were barely visible. "So what do you see there?" "Stars," she said mysteriously with her head up. "Yes, I know, I see them too. But what's so special about them?" "I don't know. It seems that they talk to me. There are other people there. They have their own life, probably much better than ours, and they too look at the sky and see Earth, me and you." Voices of the distant stars. "Why didn't you go to Alyssa?" "What does she have to do with it?" "Are you trying to say that it's not about her?" "Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying. Why did you bring this topic up again? I thought we've already cleared everything up." Of course, we didn't clear anything up. To be precise, we didn't even start to. However, I don't understand why all this is necessary. You think I really want to talk about it myself? If you don't, then why? Because it's because of you. Because of me? What? You and Alyssa. Me and Alyssa what? We don't have a relationship. We don't have anything at all. Don't lie to me. I've been looking for you the entire day because I was worried. I came here because you're here. I'm sitting here because I want to be here. What don't you understand? She stopped crying for a moment. Is that true? Of course. I mean something to you? Even taking into account all the things I've just said, this question came at me unexpectedly. Well, yeah. If only you could hear yourself now, she cried, got up, and walked briskly towards the exit of the sports ground. Wait! I caught up with her and grabbed her arm, but she pulled out of my grip. Don't touch me! Now Lena was a totally different person. And I couldn't say that she was aggressive, assertive, or super strong-willed. She just had no doubts about what she was doing. Wait! What did I say? That's all true. Save all this nonsense for her. I tried to stop Lena once again, but she glared at me so strongly that I did not dare to argue. Just imagine how I feel. You make up a bunch of stupid things, and now you think that I'm guilty of all mortal sins. Why should you care? I should. She stopped for a moment and looked at me. It's all lies. What's going on here? I turned around and saw Alyssa lazily chewing a bun. In the wrong place at the wrong time. This situation is a perfect example. I just froze in surprise, not knowing what to say. But Lena was smarter. Time to pass him on. Catch. Alyssa looked surprised. No wonder she hadn't heard the entire conversation. What? I said catch. Within a moment, Lena became like she was before, calm and unruffled. What should I catch? Him. She pointed a finger at me with disgust. He complains about how he loves you and how he cannot live without you and stuff like that. What? Alyssa's eyes popped open wide. No, that's all wrong. Lena is just joking. I giggled nervously. Why? That's exactly what's happening. Listen, everything has its limits, I said quietly to her. Do you want there to be victims? Why? I already suggested you should go to her. I don't know what you're talking about here, but don't involve me. You don't know? Lena said it softly, but her voice had a trace of rage in it. The same thing again? Alyssa looked at her frightened. Listen, I understand that you, but I don't know, really, not a single word, not even a single thought about him, I swear. You don't know? Oh, here we go. Lena jumped at her, and before I realized, smashed Alyssa with a powerful right hook. Well, I understand a simple slap, but such a blow could break someone's jaw. Alice. Her name suddenly changed. Alice. Whoops. Alyssa collapsed and seemed to lose consciousness. What should I do? Help Alyssa. What are you doing? I ran over to the fallen girl and tried to figure out if she was alive at all. Are you completely out of your mind? If you want me to leave, to shut up or do anything else, fine, but this is turning into a complete madhouse. Maybe you need a straitjacket so nobody else will get injured. Lena stood, clenching her fist. You could even break your hand with such a blow. You don't understand anything. The tears welled up, flowing down her face, and she fled from the square. It seemed to me that I could still hear Lena sobbing while she was bringing Alyssa around. Okay. Finally, she came back to consciousness. You alive? Are you okay? Alyssa moved her jaw from left to right. I'll live. I helped her up. I told you about her. Well, that doesn't matter now. You have to get to the infirmary. It's too late for infirmary. I'll have to go. I'll have a good night's rest, and in the morning I'll go there. Okay, then I'll go with you. I can't refuse, Alyssa said, trying to give me a smile. Going along the rows of cabins, I didn't meet a single pioneer. That's odd, too. It's always crowded here at this time of day. Nobody was at the square, either. Coming to the canteen, I started to get seriously concerned. It's time for dinner, but there's no sign of the hungry pioneer crowds. If only it was just that the canteen was closed. Looks like something has happened during the day. I sat down on the porch and started to consider the situation. All the pioneers were gone, without any warning. I almost jumped out of my skin. Lena was standing next to me. You can't just sneak up on people like that. You nearly gave me a heart attack. Sorry, Lena said calmly. Now her words dawned on me. Left. Hold on a sec. What do you mean by just left? The session's over. And the camp leader? She had some business to take care of in the town, so she went with them. Okay, and what about you? I stayed. Lena was talking with complete calmness, as if everything that has happened is completely normal and routine. How? Why is that? What's the problem? When the session is over, the children depart for their homes, don't they? And when was it decided that today is the last day of session? You wouldn't believe this, but on the very first day. Moreover, Oko Dimitrivana announced this at the lineup. Yeah, even at those lineups that I attended, the last thing that crossed my mind was listening to the camp leader's announcements. Then why didn't anyone tell me anything? I've waited for the chance to get out of this damned camp for so long, and when it finally appeared, I obviously slept through it. Well, that's exactly my style. I asked them not to. Even if you would ask them not to, Olga... Hold on, what? I asked for it, said Lena with the same confidence. And what, you asked them to leave me behind too? Yes. Okay, so what are we going to do now? We? She smiled. Yeah, we. We're the only ones staying here. The canteen's closed, and I seriously doubt that there's any food left there anyway. Of course, Olga and Giovanna should return in the foreseeable future, but... what does it matter? Okay, it doesn't matter. Any suggestions? What do you want? She asked with a sly smile. I would have grabbed something to eat, and then, I don't know. Well, let's go and have something. Where to? There should be some food left in my cabin. Okay, deal. We went and Lena rummaged around in the desk drawer. Well, there are cookies. Want some? She handed me a half-open pack of biscuits. Aw, how cute, I sneered. Why? Biscuits. I like in my childhood. I guess. She smiled and sat next to me. I feel like I'm with a psychopath. Well, I asked with my mouth full. What? So what are we going to do? I don't know. She wistfully gazed out the window. But what do you want? But really, what do I want? But at the exact moment, I was possessed by only one thought. Oh, what the hell? Well, if you don't mind. I closed my eyes. She said nothing, just smiled and moved even closer. Our lips locked in a long kiss. At that exact moment, I truly loved Lena. I wanted to hold her tighter and never let go. And she felt the same, of course. Time flashed by way too fast, and we became as one. You're so wonderful, she whispered in my ear, kissing my neck. You too. But my voice hesitated. Want to do it again? She asked playfully. Hold on. I moved her away gently. You know, all this is anything but simple. Didn't you like what we did? Want to do it with her too? Now I won't hold you back. Come on, compare us. I'll leave you her address. You can tell me who is better. Or we can have a threesome. She sounded like she wasn't talking about me or her. Like she was talking about complete strangers. Oh, there you go again. I'm not asking for much. Just a few answers to a few questions. Later, it's time to depart. She interrupted me impassively. What? Where are we going? What do you mean, where? Back to town, of course. But still, why did you hit Alyssa? She looked at me closely with a serious expression on her face. I always hated that bitch. Lena laughed loudly and nuzzled into my shoulder. I desperately tried not to fall asleep. It's unknown what's awaiting there after the bus's next turn. Wake up! Consciousness slowly returned to me. It's like I'm falling from a cliff so high that clouds are drifting nearby. The ground is coming closer, but I'm not afraid that I'll die. My fall slows down and my body is smoothly immersed into the warm ether. I open my eyes. You'll sleep through your whole life like that. Lena looked at me seriously. What? We're there already? Where's there? I looked around. A bench, the square, Genda. But how? I was on the bus going to the district center. Why are you looking at me as if you've seen a ghost? But why am I still here? For a second I felt terrible fear. I will never get out of this place. We were on the bus together. On the bus? Yesterday. Yesterday? Yes, yesterday. Don't you remember? Lena started thinking. Yesterday. I don't remember anything like that. Maybe you just had a bad dream. Well, in a few words, I'm not from this world. From the look she gave me, it was clear she didn't understand me at all. I came here accidentally. Even I don't know how. So, what does your world look like? Lena asked seriously. It's virtually the same, but 20 years ahead of your world. Do you already have spaceflight? Well, if it comes to that, you have it as well. However, we haven't made any great achievements in that field yet. Sounds interesting. I was unable to tell if Lena was taking me seriously or was just pretending to do so. I used to live in a completely different place as well, far away to the north, judging from the landscape, in a big city. I've never been to the big cities. Maybe that's for the best. Hey, time to pack your stuff! The camp leader's voice sounded from afar. Hear that? I don't have much to pack. But I do! So, meet you near the bus. What are you thinking about? I opened my eyes and saw Lena. She put a cup of tea on the table near my armchair. Firewood was gently crackling in the fireplace, and a snowstorm was roaring outside. I wrapped myself up in a plaid blanket and looked at Lena. Do you know what day it is? No, what day? Do you remember what I told you back in the camp? No? No wonder. During all these years, I'd never brought up the topic of my mysterious arrival in this world. Do you remember how I told you that I'm not from this world? Lena paused. Well, something like that, yes. So today is the day when, many years ago, I got on the 410 bus and woke up at the Pioneer Camp. So it's an anniversary. Lena smiled. Yeah, sort of. Is it a sad celebration for you? No, not at all. Now I remember almost nothing about that time. Maybe that's for the best. I added some firewood to the fire and took the mug from the table. Maybe I'll write a novel. You will read it and remember. Do you think that's a good idea? Mina's expression became serious. Indeed, I once promised myself that I would never write about it. Maybe it's not. After all, everything that's happened is just for us. That's exactly what I think. I sighed and looked at the fire. You know, life is like a candle. Someone's got a short one, someone's got a long one, and it can burn out at any moment. Then our life is like this fireplace. Yes, perhaps. I looked at her and smiled. I'll sleep for a while longer. Lena kissed me and fixed her gaze on the fire in a dreamy manner. My eyes closed and my whole reality compressed itself down to the crackling of the firewood. I started falling slowly, somewhere far away. No, it was not a dream, more like warm ether, gently enveloping my entire existence. Wouldn't it be so sad if it turned out that the 410 bus he was on was in an accident, and that this is all like a coma fever dream? Well, guys, that's the end of Lena's ending. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm logging off now, and I will see you guys later. Remember to do something nice for a stranger today. You may just save a life.